This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Here are 10 stories that we're following today. It's December 20th, 2023. The first story is futures and the markets point down a little bit this morning, but it's been an extraordinary 2 months in the market, so you take the good with the bad. A lot of optimism that rate cuts are coming next year from the Fed. We wonder if some of that optimism is overdone. We'll see. Second, FedEx on poor earnings, missing estimates, plunged 10% pre-market. I think it's at about 10-12% now. Third, a couple stories about the Houthis interrupting Red Sea and Mediterranean shipping. The Houthis, Iran, and U.S. deterrence, a story in the Wall Street Journal. And also an article on how the U.S. Navy is not as scary as it once was to the rest of the world. This is, of course, a self-inflicted wound. This isn't something that can't be changed right away. It's a discussion on attacks on commercial shipping in the Red Sea and the Mediterranean that's causing lots of turmoil in terms of world commerce. Fourth, just great to interview Dr. Jay Robinson from Kaiser Permanente on the Becker's Healthcare podcast this past week. A wonderful, wonderful leader. Fifth, a story in the Wall Street Journal on why Harvard, which is so committed to its DEI policy, can't fire Claudine Gay for potentially an admission that it messed up on this particular hire. A fascinating story, a fascinating perspective. Fascinating to watch what's going on at Harvard. Early decision applications are down more than they've been down in 2 decades. What a mess. For those that graduated like myself in '89 and saw political correctness and wokeness just starting to take hold, it's amazing what's happened in terms of the transformation of the Harvard culture. From my perspective, in a little bit of a good way, but largely in a bad way. But fascinating to watch. Sixth, Volkswagen starts huge job cut effort, intend to cut billions of dollars in cost. Seventh, and this is a story you didn't expect to see under the Biden administration, the U.S. is pumping out a record amount of oil each day, currently almost 13.2 gallons. That's a record number, just fascinating. Eighth, the 2 podcasts we primarily work on, Becker's Healthcare and Becker Private Equity, are both ranked this week in the top 20 in the Apple Business News podcast rankings. Thrilled to see that. Ninth, Toshiba, the great electronics company, is in the process of being delisted from the stock markets. What a fascinating story. It is going to be part of a private buyout, so it's not all bad news, but fascinating to watch. 10th, another headline you didn't think you'd see, at least in our generation again. GE is up 93% year to date. Again, GE has been through great ups, serious downs, and now moving in the right direction again under great leadership. Just fascinating to watch. Again, those are 10 stories that we're watching today. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast.